Happy 4th of July! Happy 2nd of July, I guess, but we're celebrating 4th of July. Ladies and gentlemen, people around the world, welcome to the Weekly Beer Show. We have Nate the Fourth over. Wait, actually, I gotta get used to this. We're all screwed up. Nate the Fourth. What's up, Nate?
What's going on, Travel Man Dan and AJ? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, look who's here, AJ the Rabbit. You may have seen him from a few episodes that we did over the last couple of years. Well, last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually out here where AJ is staying. We're going to get into that in a little bit. But thank you, whoever's watching, hopping on the show. Appreciate you guys being here. If you're new to the show, let me tell you a little bit about what we do. Today's going to be a lot different. Normally, we review 2 beers. It's the same beers. We have one guest on, and we go through the show. We review it. We have great segments. But today's a very special day because it's the holiday celebration of 4th of July, American independence. So we thought it would be a lot of fun to bring all the guests that were available throughout the year that appeared on our show, to bring them on the show, to give them, a proper cheers, have a beer. We're going to be doing the same beer for the first beer, me, Nate, and AJ, and then we'll give you our score. But then after that, it's just a complete free-for-all. So this is not the regular, structured show, but it's certainly not. It's certainly not, Nate, is it? But I'm excited. I'm really, happy to, do the show. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Absolutely, yeah. So, we do have, guys, just kind of bear with us. We're going to have people coming in and out. It might be in the middle of a segment. It just depends when people have time to pop on. They're going to come on, talk a little bit about what they do in their little world of the beer community. And we even have a guest that's actually one of our community members, and we're pretty excited to get him on and show what he does. So, Danny, let's start rolling.
Let's do it. Let's get into today's first beer. I got to go get it because we haven't gotten it yet. But hold on a minute when we get the first beer, and then we'll bring a guest on.
Sounds like a plan. I'll hold down the We've got our assistant bringing.
No, right.
Beers.
I don't have mine either. I got to go get mine. Talk about not being professional already.
Look, usually thank you, Jess. Usually I'm spot on. I got the show locked in every week. Those of you who have watched it, this show, because I'm traveling, because it's the 4th of July, I don't have the regular equipment, and we're not doing the same structure. So it's going to be a bit of a free-for-all, messy show. But, hey, we still got beer. We still got the hosts. What the hell is that?
So I was unable to actually get the beer that we're going to be doing today by the can. So I found a local kind of craft beer spot here called 3 Sheets, and they have it in a growler. So
whoa, nice.
That's what I'll be doing.
Right from the tap. Well, guys, look, this is what we're going to be doing. I know you've seen us drink this brewery before. We're really excited about it. It's one of our favorite breweries. It was probably for a long time before the show, my favorite was a beer they made called the Arrogant Bastard. I'm talking about Stone Brewery in San Diego, California. And today we're doing the Enjoy by 7-4-22 Pineapple and Tangerine Double IPA. Look at this thing. Double IPA.
Yeah, it's strong.
AJ, you ready? This thing's strong.
Well, we just earned it.
Yes, we did.
Danny made it through my entire martial arts circuit training workout like a champ.
It was very classic.
So we definitely burned enough calories to consume this post-workout beer.
It's awesome. I mean, 9% alcohol.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. This is going to be strong. It's a double IPA, and I'm looking forward to trying this. I think we did this last year on the show, didn't we, Danny?
I don't know if we did Stone. We did Budweiser, and we did, I forget the one we did. We did the 420 one.
It's strong like America.
Oh, my God. Put those, American guns right there. All right. Do you have any glasses, AJ, I can get?
Yeah.
Because I want to go ahead and show the proper beer.
You wait there.
So, Nate, are we ready to go for the first guest today?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you want to bring them on? We're lucky here. We've got a couple of guys that also have a podcast, they have a podcast and also have a YouTube channel that I've been watching. They do a really great job They're called Strikeout Beer. If you guys, they're going to drop some of their information so you can check them out. I've got some information to share with you guys, but we got 2 individuals from Strikeout Beer. We got Rapid Dave and we got
yeah, damn. Well, guys,
what's going on?
Cheers. Look at wow, look at those backgrounds.
Oh, nice. Oh, we got a Star Wars fan, obviously.
Nice.
Wow.
Hey,
Never heard of it.
We got 2 Star Wars fans. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's got a mask. No man, I don't even understand. I'm speechless, which doesn't happen much. But Nate didn't tell me you guys were coming on up until this point. That you guys were big Star Wars people. I'm assuming from Texas, is it?
Yeah, in
we're
the
in
great
Texas.
state of Texas. Yeah, Dallas and Fort Worth. He's on the Fort Worth side. I'm on the Dallas side.
Cool. All right. Woo.
The force is strong with these 2.
Yes, it is. Welcome to the show, Alan and Rapid Dave. We're going to go ahead and crack these and sniff them and pour them. Wow. These
All
are
right.
Yeah.
So I was told to get something patriotic. And
Okay,
when you
good.
think patriotic, you think American. I don't think you can tell the tale of America and beer without drinking the Budweiser.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Diesel, I mean, it's as American as it gets. I've already cracked mine open, though.
Great.
Cheers.
Oh, what are you drinking, Rapid Dave?
I have him from Tupps Brewery. It's up in McKinney, Texas, National Standard. It's a blonde ale. It's like 100 degrees here, right? We're smack dab in the middle of summer. So you got to go with during the days, you got to go with the light ales and the light beers. So this malt profile, there's not a lot of hops, not a lot of malts going on here. It's just seriously crushable, and it's just like a pool or a barbecue beer.
Awesome. All right, so we have Vera here. Barrow, welcome. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and I'll show you guys this one. All right, this is tangerine and pineapple double IPA. So definitely it's got a maize color
Oh,
to
I
it.
poured terribly. Sorry. I was trying to watch on the video.
These are the best pours I've ever seen, boys.
Oh, we're flowing, homie.
We've all done this. This is the beer show.
Oh, for it.
That's okay. Well, Nate, let me see yours. That came from the draft.
Right there. So it's a really nice color to it, nice amber color. You know, this is a double IPA. It's probably going to be dank. You know, there's going to be a little element of the fruit, the pineapple and the tangerine, but I'm expecting it to be quite piney. Stone definitely is hop forward with their offering, so I expect nothing less on this one.
Yeah, and the funny thing is usually Nate is pouring and spilling everywhere. He has pours, and I always get on. So, well, here it is, guys. Cheers. Happy 4th, I guess, on the 2nd.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cheers.
from Texas to Vegas.
Nice
to-
beer.
yeah, Northern California.
Wow. Cheers, guys.
Oh, man. Okay.
Mr. Beers here. We got Vero here. We got, I think Phil's probably here somewhere. We got Xi Jinping, who's one of our famous favorite commentators here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
I don't know if you told Strikeout, we have the Chinese president every show. He shows up. So,
习近平，很高兴认识你。
all right.
7月4号快乐。
Hey, Tiffany, how you doing?
Tiffany.
Um,
All right. Well, guys, let's go into our first sip of our beer, and then I want to find out more about Strikeout and what you guys do. I mean, this beer it's really nice that it's the morning time here because it's refreshing. It's like a sweet fruit flavor, very pineapple forward here. Definitely, you taste a lot of the double IPA that got, like what Nate alluded to earlier, very dank, very flavorful. There's a lot of complexity going on. I like what they did with this.
yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's definitely boozy.
Yeah.
You know, like right off on the front of the palate there, you're picking up a lot of booze. I don't know that I'm getting a lot of orange or tangerine. I am getting the pineapple, and so I get it. You know, I would imagine that they put a lot in there, but I'm just not picking up on the palate. Maybe somebody else is. I know everybody's taste is a little bit different. So for me, it's kind of a very pineapple forward, hoppy double IPA.
I'm definitely getting the pineapple primarily, but it's a lot of fruit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about that Budweiser? Walk us-
It's going out smooth as always. Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with the Diesel.
No.
The
Yeah.
Diesel, the Bud
Diesel.
Heavy.
That's
Is that
right.
what you guys call Budweiser in Texas, the diesel?
Yeah,
I like
yeah. I
that.
think the kids are starting to call it the Bud Heavy these days, but I'm keeping it old school. We're calling it the Diesel over here.
Well, it's funny. Nate calls it Bud Heavy for how long, Nate? Murph.
As long as I've known about Budweiser.
Nice. And how's the blonde now? Like, is that got a good taste? I mean, I like that. It's terrible. Damn.
Crisp, clean, and crushable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Strikeout, Lizzie Bingham. Is that one of you guys people?
That's intro girl Lizzie. Yeah, that's my wife.
Oh, awesome. Well, hi, Lizzie.
She does the intros and some other things for us and whatnot. All of our swag that you don't see in the shop, all the stuff we give away, she makes all that crap. So yeah.
Yeah, forces us to play nice from time to time.
Yeah, that's cool. So how long have you guys been doing this? How long have you had the podcast going? How long have you guys been doing the YouTube channel?
Just over 4 years. We just hit our 4-year anniversary in May. So we're a couple months past our 4 years on that. Started on Facebook, and then just kind of developed the other channels as we're like, okay, let's keep expanding it. And yeah, it's still a thing. People still keep showing up, so we keep doing it.
You guys seem to have a lot of fun on your shows. I see you guys, you're able to bring guests in, which is really cool. What are you guys trying to do for the end of the year? Is there any kind of big things you guys are going to be doing, trying to share with your community?
Just like any year, we do beer miss and things like that. Now we go, like, our beers change as the season changes. So like right now we're doing lighter beers. Now Alan will always show up with like a 15% triple, dry hopped IPA that'll knock our socks off. But as we get closer to the fall time, we bring out the box, the ambers, the winter ales, things like that. And we're always down to have some beers. I mean, we're here to support the local DFW scene, as we call it. And there's a lot of breweries out here, so you can go a rock and hit about 5 of them. So,
what would you say is the San Diego? You've got Ballast Point, Stone, etc. In Dallas-Fort Worth area, what are like the top level, the ones with the most notoriety that we might know nationally?
Lone Star.
RAR and Sons is a bigger one. Outside of DFW, Shiner obviously is a big brewery. You've got some that have gained some notoriety because, like, there's one in particular that has gained notoriety because they'll brew anything. Martin House Brewery. They're the ones that started with the whole pickle beer trend type thing and gained a lot of notoriety from that, as well as just literally, you name it, they've probably brewed a beer for it. That's just all there is to it. I think they have a monkey in the back that throws his poo on a wall, and it just hits. They just have words up there of items and things, and whatever the poo hits, that's what they brew.
I love breweries like that are getting. I go to New York a lot, and we try like cannoli beers, chocolate cake beers.
Cannoli beers. Dude, we got some actual cannolis right now too. So
yeah, they're interesting. Some interesting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Rapid Dave, do you like Lone Star? Are people onto that? Like, they still, is that like your dad's beer type stuff?
My dad's beer is Budweiser. And
Right.
I'm a Miller guy, actually. I drink more Miller Lite than any other beer because of all the, the carbs and the calories and stuff like that and keeping it light. But I don't know. I'm just kind of, I love Pilsners and Kolsch's. That's my thing, right? That's what I go with. If there's a big brewery around here that brews Kolsch's and Pilsners, I kind of gravitate that way. And, there's, like I said, there's a million of them around me. There's 3 Nations, there's 903 Brewers, Odd Muse is in Farmers Branch. So I'm surrounded by breweries, just like Alan is on his side. So that's why when we get together, he's got all the Fort Worth beers, I've got all the Dallas beers, and then we just we come together. But yeah, no, I'm a Pilsner and Kolsch guy first and foremost.
Nice.
Yeah, with all the craziness out there and people trying to one up each other on different styles of beers, I'm kind of reverting back to classic style beers, and just a cleaner, crisper type of flavor. There's so many hazies and there's so many imperial sours that right there from Stone. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, and it's nice to go back and have classic German built beer sometime.
We were on the hazy train. We were hazy boys sitting there. Just we'd go run 5Ks at local breweries. That's how you can get me to run. Have a brewery event, right? And so we go out there, and what are we doing after we just run 3.5 miles? We're sitting there drinking hazies, all these sugar beers and stuff like that. And we went through our phase of just loving hazies. And then eventually we're like, we can't keep doing this. This is not good, because we'd have 5, 6, 7 of them. And then people are giving their drink tickets to us as well. And it's like, oh, you know what? I'm kind of done. I'm trying to let's go back to what works, and what's actually just kind of refreshing and whatnot. But I do love the hot profiles. I do like there's the fruity and the floral differences, the piney, things like that. So there's a lot. The spectrum's so huge when it comes to IPAs and hazy IPAs.
Yeah, for me, the more dank and piney it tastes, I love that. And but one thing that I really enjoy is the Marzans, and you're starting to come around those beers. It's like food, and you're just like, oh man, this is so good. So that I like a lot.
Yeah, we dedicate a whole month to your Marzans, your Fest beers, all your Oktoberfest beers, and it's usually 3 or 4 different ones per show, because there's just so many, and we want them all. We want to try them all. We love them. We love Oktoberfest season. It's one of our favorite. We have that, and then we have Beer Miss, which is our advent calendar. We promote doing Beer Miss. We have a different beer every day, just like an advent calendar. We post videos with it. We get our community involved in it. Everyone who shares the beers that they're having through Beer Miss, we do a big a giveaway at the end of Beer Miss, where everyone who every time you post what you drank, you get an entry into it, and we give some swag away at the end of it.
That's cool, because me and Nate had talked about doing that last year, but it's just we haven't mastered the timeout yet. So do
every day.
Nate's got a newborn, and I'm down with drinking every day, and we might try it again this year. But that's cool that you guys do that, and I'll have to keep an eye out for it, man.
And the way we kind of keep it going is we just kind of do it individually, separate of ourselves, right? So we take that time where sometimes it's just a post, right? Just a picture. Hey, here's what I drank today for my Beer Miss. Sometimes it's a video. Sometimes it's a Facebook video. Sometimes it's a YouTube video. Sometimes it's a TikTok. We have all the different social media that we do. We try to get the content out there to all the different sites and try and spread a little bit here, a little bit there, just to try and encourage people to follow it all.
Okay, cool. Well, look, we'd love to, have you guys back on a full show. Obviously, this is our 4th of July kind of rapid fire. We're bringing people on throughout the year that have been there. So let's link up. I'm really happy to meet you guys. Before, if you guys check out, there's Rapid Dave, there's the Strikeout Beer podcast. Definitely check that out. We'll put it down in the description after this show. A couple of things before we leave. Do you have a favorite beer?
And I have a question too.
Okay.
So like my go-to everyday drinker for me is Yuengling. That's my. I've got a case in the fridge pretty much at all times. If it's just go grab a beer and I'm not concerned about what I'm drinking, it's grab a Yuengling. If I go to the bar, grab a Yuengling. That's my everyday kind of go-to beer. Cool.
How about you, Alan? I'm sorry, Rapid Dave.
For me, it's any type of Pilsner. My day-to-day beer, though, is Miller Lite. It's just a low-cal, low-carb beer that I can drink and enjoy, and it won't get me too messed up, But if I go to a brewery, I'm absolutely looking for a Pilsner or a Kolsch. Those are when I see it up there, and those are the ones I pick.
Cool. AJ, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. So, as a film guy myself, I have to ask you guys. Each will start with Alan. Of the entire series of Star Wars films, or even counting the more
my next question,
the recent obviously influx of the TV series and so forth, what is your, if you can pick your favorite Star Wars film and or show, or whatever is your absolute favorite? Alan, you first.
Okay, so if you're talking film, you're talking New Hope, the one that started it all, right? But if you're talking if you want to single something out as one of the best things in the Star Wars universe, look at season 7 of the Clone Wars, the last 4 episodes. The last 4 episodes are phenomenal. It's when you're done watching it, you're standing up on that last episode going, holy S, did that just happen? It's just, it's one of those things that really, it got me. Goosebumps and everything was like, what? Yes.
Cool.
For me, it's Han Solo.
I loved. Okay, so I was one of those people that loved the Solo movie as well.
Yeah,
like the new one. I thought it was very entertaining.
But Rapid Dave, let's find out. Obviously, you're going to go with something Star Wars. And I see in the background, I don't know, 7, 8 stormtroopers, X-wing fighter. Do I have an AT-AT driver? Do I have the biker scout?
I don't have it. I'm working on it. Yeah.
Favorite entry in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah. For me, a movie, it's A New Hope. That's the first one that started off for me, and that's, I'll sit down and watch that one a million times. I actually just watched Solo yesterday. It was on like whatever, and I was hanging out by the pool and had the TV on, and I was like, it's not bad. As long as you get rid of the first 5-10 minutes of Fast and the Furious version of that, it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. And Lando in that movie is amazing.
Yeah, it's not the greatest one in the series, but it's very entertaining, and I feel like it got a bad rap, right? But I enjoyed it when I watched it. But so for me, because I have a podcast all about kung fu movies. I'm all about like
AJ's the kung fu guy.
Yeah,
in the world, like
obviously
in the world. You want Asian Hong Kong movies?
Yeah. The original trilogy, I appreciate a lot of what George Lucas took from like Akira Kurosawa and a lot of those. So that's why I think for me personally, I didn't grow up the biggest Star Wars fan. I liked them, but I was more of an Indiana Jones guy personally. But I've always loved The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a phenomenal film. It's maybe one of the greatest sequels ever made. That's always my personal favorite.
Let's do that.
They're 1A and 1B. Yeah, we have another show that we do together, and it's called Part-Time Nerd, and we cover like all the Mandalorian. We got shows coming out every which way, man. It's really nuts. But yeah, so we cover.
I need to link you guys up with Martial Arts Mania, his podcast.
Yeah.
He does it. But before we go, I just want to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Everybody, Nate, AJ, I'm just going to say it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like them. Okay.
Legend of Drunken Master, good choice.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
So are we okay? All together now. I know how this is going to go. Jar Jar Binks, thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah. All right.
Wait.
Yeah.
In the middle. The middle.
All right. Yes.
I
Dan Allen. Yes.
Wait. Master Andy.
He's a Sith Lord. He's a Sith Lord. He's just playing dumb.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He lives under the water. You know what I mean? Like, I love you forever.
All right, guys. So how can we make sure all the viewers that are watching the show that they can make sure they can go check out your information? Where can we send them?
We're actually everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I mean, we're absolutely everywhere, and it's at Strikeout Beer. That's our handle, strikeoutbeer.com as well. But yeah, I mean, we're wherever you stream podcasts, we're there as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely bring you guys back if you want to come back for our full regular show. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Really, you guys do an awesome job. Thank you for joining us, and cheers, and have a great 4th of July.
Nice meeting you guys.
Have a great one.
Don't blow your balls off, and then see you later.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, that was fun.
That was fun.
Those guys are great.
Ooh,
So we
all right.
have our next guest, Danny's in the studio waiting.
So this is what we're drinking before we bring him in. We're drinking the Stone Enjoy by 7-4-22. So we are enjoying it. It's a tangerine and pineapple double IPA. Nate got it from a place that poured draft. How's that draft, Nate?
It's good. I'm buzzed, man.
I know.
Well, see, Danny's drinking. I'm almost done. He's
Star Wars based on Vietnam's fight against the U.S.
You might be able to find parallels there for sure, but
Oh.
I'd say more so George Lucas took a lot from the filmography of Akira Kurosawa, those kind of things. And a lot of there's actually, even some kind of like religious context to it, classic tales of old of good versus evil. But I mean, there's definitely parallels he could have taken from that, especially from the time period. The first film came out in 1977, just after the Vietnam era. So it's possible. I don't know much about that, but maybe I'll do some research on that.
Yeah, it's possible. But what is possible is bringing Strikeout Beer back for a full episode. Those
are some cool guys.
Those guys are great, man. Thank you so much for being part of the show. The double IPA is strong. I'm definitely getting a lot of the pineapple forward flavor. Very fruity. Very. I'm starting to feel flush a little bit because the strength is here. We do have another one, so we can keep it rolling. But Nate, let's bring in our next guest. I don't know who you are because I'm not in control today.
All right. So we actually had this individual on our show. I don't know, it's maybe about 6, 7, 8 months ago at this point now. I'm sorry, since I had COVID, my brain and memory is terrible. but she's absolutely a delight. She is the founder of Beer Feelings. And if you recall, we went through the process of salting our rims, and she had a beautiful glass that she gave us. Stop laughing. But we are going to bring Natalie on from.
Natalie.
Hello. We need to find a better term than rim. Like that's what I want for the. We can pretend that the 4th of July is
The
like
ledge.
Christmas.
What about the ledge?
That's well, and then I thought about edge, but I don't think edging is any better than
Edging just too kinky.
rim. Yeah, but I have a new rim for you guys. So last time I was on, we drank with the chili lime rim, and today I'm drinking with the espresso beer sugar rim. I paired it with the raspberry Vermonter Weiss. It's a Berliner Weiss, so it's a sour. It's not quite as intense as some other sours out there. When I looked at the ABV, I was like, I'm not feeling tipsy at all. It's because it's 3.4%. So I'm gonna like the opposite end of the spectrum. But these two, the sugar and the beer together, I'm pretty happy.
That's
Right
awesome.
on.
Yeah.
And Natalie, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Now,
Hello.
I don't know if you met AJ before. He was on the show. He has a podcast about martial arts movies. He's our friend that we met in China. So I'm here visiting him in Murphy's, California, which is, I guess, central north. Is that? What do you?
We would technically be like Northern California. See, for California people, anything above Bakersfield is going to be NorCal, even though Bakersfield is still technically in the South. But I have to tell you, and I'm sure you heard this before, has anyone ever told you that you look like Minnie Driver?
No.
Really?
Never. I've been told, okay, every town that I've been to. So initially from Colorado, I can see it like looking at myself in the screen. Like especially with like the headband hair. Every town that I go to, people that I meet, like at the grocery store or the brewery, say, you must be from here. Like you must be someone's cousin. You look so familiar. And so I guess I just have like a very common face that shows up everywhere. But Minnie Driver is a new one.
Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver.
I love Minnie Driver.
Yeah, and Grosse Point Blank is one of my all-time favorite movies. So
Very good. Well, thank
Good
you.
Will
Thank
Hunting.
you so much.
Good Will Hunting. She also has a great cameo in Goldeneye, the James Bond film.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
She's the Russian singer.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh.
So, Natalie, any news in your world? What's going on with you
Oh
since
my
we last saw you?
gosh. Oh my goodness, you guys. You were talking about hazy IPA. So since the last time we talked, which I agree, it feels like about 75 years ago, got engaged. So
Oh, congratulations.
committed. Yay, we did it.
All right.
And by we, I should mean he did it. It took quite a
Right.
few months of badgering, but I prevailed.
Awesome.
And then we moved to Vermont. So I am in the
No.
land of hazy IPAs right now. I'm in New England. For those of you that don't know that Vermont is a part of New England, thank you, Martin. And honestly, I didn't realize that Colorado had so much beer diversity that you could go to a liquor store or like a grocery store and you could get any kind of beer that you want. Here, all we want to drink is a Saison. That sounds so good right now. Like it's hot. It's not as hot as Texas, but it feels hot. We want Saisons, can't find a Saison to save our lives. So drinking a lot of sours. There's a really cool cider scene here.
Yeah, I
makes
knew
sense.
about that in
Yeah.
New England. Yeah. They're
So
kind
cool
of-
cider scene and a lot of IPAs, a lot of New England hazy IPAs, which like I love. I just want to change it up sometimes.
Well, sometimes they're just so powerful on the palate, they drown it out. You get tired of it. It's like if you go eat hot pot, you're gonna eat Chinese hot pot. You're gonna eat it once, and you're like, I don't want to have that for another 6 months. It's just too much. It's too rich.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with it. I love them, but even the high quality ones from a Treehouse or a Trillium or Alchemist, sometimes it's just too much on the palate, and I need a break.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, and it's funny. That's a perfect analogy, Nate, with like something like hot pot or certain cuisine that you absolutely love, but you only eat it once in a while. If you were to eat it even every week, yeah, you're going way over the top.
Yeah, it's just a lot. But so is there any particular brewer that you been introduced to since you moved to Vermont that you didn't know about that you love?
Well, first of all, Wait, hold on,
Yes.
now. I'm gonna stop you. Pump the brakes on the beer. Let's talk love.
Oh my god.
Let's talk love. Like, we're good with the beer. We're gonna do that. What happened? Well, how did he do it? Like, did he?
Oh my gosh.
Was it a surprise?
I wish I could say this is like a more romantic story, but we have been dating. Our anniversary is actually the 4th of July. So that's
Wow. Happy
we
anniversary.
will have been, thank you so much, all these things. We will have been together 6 years. So we kind of knew it was coming. And he kind of, before we moved, I said like, well, we gotta go to the jeweler and we gotta choose a ring, and that takes time. And like we all knew, thanks, Vera. we knew it was coming, and he pretty much gave me the thumbs up, and he was like, yeah, go choose a ring. I was like, what do you mean go choose a ring? And then my fiance never leaves the house. I say this with so much love. He's like a bridge troll. Like he loves living in his world. Like he's my bridge troll though. I love him so much.
I respect that.
And so he lives in his world. And one random weekend, he was like, I need to go run some errands. I need to go. And he kind of left abruptly. I was like, that's weird. He never leaves the house. Like,
Troll.
Who
Like,
are you with my boyfriend?
exactly. He like quarantine was the best thing that ever happened to him because he was like, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to do this. I don't have to go to Christmas parties and stuff like that. But yeah, he left abruptly, and then I knew the ring was in the house, and so every day for a week I said like, do you have any questions to ask me? Do you have any like big life-changing conversations? And so eventually he was like, listen, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. Go look for the ring. If you can find it in 30 seconds, I'll propose. And I was like, okay. So this became like this doesn't sound very romantic, but it became like a fun game. So eventually I found the ring. He had a very lovely proposal. He said some very kind words, but it was not like we went to a baseball game and it was on the big screen and it was on all this, but it was a very like we're very comfortable with each other. We've been together for forever, and so it was nice that it wasn't a big deal because that's like
He didn't try like faking a kidnapping or something, and then like
no. Oh my gosh. Oh my, he didn't. I told him, I was like, don't put it in any food, because I'll just eat it. I'll just eat the whole thing.
In beer.
Yeah.
In the beer. Well, then I would have been mad. I would have been like, why did you get my beer dirty? Like, that's kind of gross. But yeah, no,
Well, I'm going to go back to Vera's comments. She said, don't talk about proposals unless we talk about yours. The only other person that proposed on this show right now is Nate. And, me and AJ are still, AJ's been with his girl for a long time.
you know what? It's 8.5 years.
Is that
So,
what-
but I'm playing that long game. I'm playing that long game.
How did
just
you
make sure that she's playing the long game too.
Oh,
Well, she's getting a little, she's ready for the long game to, finish. But
do you want me?
I
I'm going to
understand.
game minister.
So back to my question. Appreciate you filling us in on that. So what kind of breweries have you found in Vermont? What's exciting there? What are we talking about in the
Absolutely.
beer world in Vermont?
Nate does not want to talk about his proposal.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Let's go.
So I will say, although I'm a little like hazied out, what I do appreciate about the Vermont beer scene is you can go to a brewery and you can drink New England IPAs right next to each other and really get the chance to appreciate like, what does a different hop do? What does dry hopping do? What's the difference between a double and a triple IPA? What's a single hopped IPA? So the breweries that I'm really excited about right now are Foam Brewing. It is right on the water on Lake Champlain. If you come to Burlington, Vermont, it's like the most picturesque. You go for like a little walk either before or after your beer, but Foam is probably my favorite so far. And then there's another one called Zero Gravity Brewing. But I have yet to drink a beer that I'm really disappointed in. I just want a Saison. So if anyone is a brewer in Vermont, please, for the love of God, just like make me a Saison or a wit beer or just something else. And maybe it's all like, I will say, the culture around here is very like seasonal, farm fresh. What can we use from the land?
Yep.
So What I'm hoping for is a very seasonal variety of beers, where in Colorado, there's so much commerce and so many goods coming in and out that it's really easy to get, well, not really easy, but it's easier to get your hands on winter ingredients in the spring and vice versa. So excited to live for a full year here. Mainly just excited to get this house fixed up. Beer is getting me through our home repairs most of the time.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so would you say then, like, let's say you go out to like the pub or, you know, the bar or wherever, would you say that the typical bartender and stuff, they're very knowledgeable of beer and beer manufacturing and production, and like they can really give you the nuances of the difference between, like, you know, as you said, double hop, single hop, whatever, and so that they're very knowledgeable?
Yes, I would definitely say so. Especially so for those of you that don't know anything about Vermont, it's the one shaped like a V. So
Yeah.
Vermont is shaped like this and New Hampshire is shaped like this, and they're right next to each other. But the part of Vermont that I live in is a little more in the sticks. So I think the breweries that are close to me are smaller than microbreweries. I'm calling them nano breweries or micro breweries. But most of the breweries that I'm able to go to when I don't want to go to town, which is Burlington, are like the brewer and their spouse, and they work the brewery too. Like, and there's 4 tables. So it's a super small scale.
Intimate.
Which has the potential, like if it's seasonal and if we're rotating this stuff, like there could be some really cool shit that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Beer, because they're literally like making the beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found a very proud and passionate beer community here.
I feel like the people in Vermont and in even Colorado, like both the states that you've lived in, it's like a next level. It's like I'm a beer scientist. I'm from Colorado, and he's a beer scientist, and he's from Vermont. Like if there was ever
Exactly.
I have my PhD in beer, a pretty hoppy draft.
There's definitely like a big beer is a big piece of the culture. Like I think if you ask people in Denver or people in Vermont, like name the big industries here, both would say craft beer and have a variety of breweries that you should try and things you should do. Both have cool beer festivals, so I'm excited to go to that. But yeah, so far enjoying my time here.
Well, I mean, and you're just smack dab in the middle of New England, which is already highly competitive. You can be up in Maine, which is ridiculous. You can be in Massachusetts, which has some of the best breweries in the country. Vermont, New Hampshire. I'm not sure that there's that many on the national scene, but the competition there in such a small area is pretty intense. So it must be pretty cool to witness that.
It's been amazing. We're definitely like my fiance and myself, we're kind of starting with like our little town, trying the breweries around here, and then getting out more and more. And then we're really close to Canada. We're about an hour away from Montreal, which has its own bunch of beer up there. So
That's what I'm talking about.
exactly. We're trying a lot of poutine. Just speaking of Canada, we're eating a lot of poutine.
Love it.
Nate, Danny, and myself, they obviously were college buddies, but we all met in China. We were coworkers at the same company. And so I also made all my first Canadian friends in China. And so we actually worked for a Canadian company. That's where we all met. So we had a lot of Canadian coworkers. And that's when I first I never even heard of poutine before I moved to China. Like, oh man, so you like poutine? I'm like, what the hell is poutine? And they just
It's so good.
And I'm like, I don't know about that. But then I didn't try it till I moved to Shanghai. And I had a client that actually owned a chain of kind of deli sandwich spots. He's from Canada. And that's where I first tried poutine. And I'm like, I can dig it. It's just like chili cheese fries, kind of. Like that's what I would equate it to.
But it's exactly like that. I mean, I grew up on the border of Canada, so 5 years old, I was eating poutine by accident.
He was also
It's so good.
drinking Bud Light, so you know.
Natalie, look, before we get going, I do want to ask you, Vermont, obviously, one thing about Vermont is because it is so high-level beer, what is the regular, like, I feel like the guys that were on before from Strikeout, that's a no-brainer. Texas, Budweiser, California's got like that. Like, I feel like Vermont, it's not that they're snooty or snobby, but they're just, it's a different level. Is there a regular macro beer that they drink? Is it Narragansett?
I'm sure there's an answer for that. I don't have enough connections. Like, I don't think I could give an honest Vermont answer. We've been here for about a month. So I'm sure there is something that they're drinking about here. For the most part, like when I'm conversing or I'm at a networking meeting, people like craft beer. There's a big emphasis on small business and supporting the little guys and going to your local brewery or going to buy local Vermont beer. So I haven't seen a big macro. I do crack up when I see Coors everywhere because we just left Coors country.
Right,
So,
yeah.
but I can't say I've really met anyone that's like, oh man, I love Budweiser. I love Yuengling besides my dad because he does love Yuengling. But so no major answer from me so far, but I'll do some research. I'll circle back with you guys in another 6 months.
I would love that. And you know, we're going to go ahead and get the next guest on. I just wanted to say from all of us, thank you so much. I'm going to be doing your video. If you haven't checked out Beer Feelings, I don't know what the hell you're waiting on. Check it out. It's an awesome podcast. Natalie is really at the forefront of something new. She works at it really hard. She does a great job on her podcast. The salt that we've had, it's great. I'm going to be putting out a Food Friday episode where I do that. I know that I think it was Vera or somebody said it's a little sexist to talk a little bit about your
engagements.
I'm sorry to bring it up. I just, I'm mushy like that. So I hope you don't, and I'm old school. So, I hope that didn't bother you.
It's all good.
Cool. All right. We'll
It's
check
all
out
good.
Natalie, and we'll bring it back before the end of the year, Natalie, if that's cool.
Absolutely. I was going to say, like, shameless plug, if you guys are still looking for a good barbecue beer for the 4th of July, if you're hosting a party, you're not totally sure of like what to bring, my Beer Feelings podcast episode tomorrow is all about what beers I would recommend you bring to your 4th of July barbecue. So It'll be live early in the morning, but in plenty of time for you to go to your local bottle shop and bring something cool for the 4th.
Awesome. That'll be great.
Lovely meeting you since it was my
So
first
nice meeting you.
Happy 4th.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Natalie, have a great one. Yeah. I love Natalie, man. Like, one thing about Natalie is that her energy is like, you guys all know me. My energy is like, and AJ's like that too. But when you meet Natalie and you talk to her, her energy is like hits 10 immediately. And I love that.
And I love Minnie Driver, and she just totally runs with Minnie Driver. So, and Nate, I got to say real quick while we have a moment, you're looking good, my friend. You're looking healthy. You're looking lean. Are you like working out right now?
Yeah, I guess you can call it that.
Shut up, dude. You're a jerk. No, you look really good, my friend. So I'm happy.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah.
He's working out.
No, you look happy and healthy, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. We got to move on here, though. We do have. By the way, can we plug AJ real quick?
Let's do it.
Oh, you got mine
Yeah.
up. Oh, I didn't even know that. So first of all, shout out to the Union Designs because that Bruce Lee design was by them. For some reason, Apple won't let me update it to my actual logo, which you can see there to the right, the Martial Arts Mania podcast. But that Bruce Lee design. So anybody that's into really cool, any sort of design work, hit up the Union Designs. But especially if you like martial arts stuff and martial arts shirts, logos, anything, the Union Designs. They're one of my sponsors for fighting. And as you can see from that Bruce Lee shirt and everything else, incredible work. But yes, the Martial Arts Mania podcast we're available on. And yes, that's a lot of Kung Fu movies I have.
Dude, Nate.
These are my new ones. I just bought an international great player. So in the UK, there's a lot of great companies like Eureka 88 Films. They're re-releasing a bunch of classics. But I'm the Martial Arts Mania podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify. We literally talk Kung Fu movies. We've been a little inconsistent recently. Obviously, I live up here in the mountains. It's kind of tough to find the time to record, but I'm moving soon. And we're going to get back at it like every week. My co-host Gavin and I, we lifelong martial arts fans. He grew up in Japan. I spent 5.5 years in China. I'm a lifelong martial artist. We love martial arts films. My academic background is in film, my bachelor's and master's. So yeah, we talk Kung Fu movies, the Martial Arts Mania podcast. You can hit me up on Instagram. Just send me a friend request with like saying, I saw you on the, Travel Man Dan show or and then I'll add you because I'm private at the moment. But we love suggestions. We talk Kung Fu movies, American martial arts films, anything classic 80s action. We love to answer questions. We love to interact with people. And yeah, we're just a couple of nerds that took our hobby really far. As I always say, because I'm a competitive martial artist, I compete in Muay Thai and kickboxing, K1, at the like amateur or semi-pro level. But people, it's funny, at my work, I manage a gym. I'm a manager of an Anytime Fitness at the moment, and for 2 more weeks at least. And then, people always like, oh man, you're such a badass. I'm like, no, I am not a badass. I am a nerd that took my hobby way too far. It's like, I love Kung Fu movies. And I was like, wait a minute. The cool thing about Kung Fu movies, as opposed to like superhero films or anything else, I'm like, I can do that. I can go train and step into the ring and try myself out. So the Martial Arts Mania podcast. That's us.
AJ's the number one. Listen, you want to find anything about action movies or especially like Hong Kong cinema?
Oh yeah.
It's not even, there's nobody else doing this stuff. There is, but not at this level.
We also love just American action films. Like one of my all-time favorites, Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
At his throat.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got another guest.
Let's
So
bring him
we're
on.
gonna keep rolling here, okay? So
Yeah.
we're gonna just bring him in for a couple of minutes here. It's one of our community members.
Yeah.
He's been checking us out for the past several months, and I met him on Twitter, and he's going to tell a little bit about what he does. He's he's an artist, a documentarian, but we'd like to bring on to the live stream Damien the Fiend. Damien,
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
What's up, Damien?
man, how are you?
I'm fine. How you guys doing?
Awesome. Happy 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, happy 4th. I got my solo cup right here. So
I'm buzzed at 10:45 in the morning, which is uncommon for myself. So
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Damien, I want to just go ahead and address. Thank you so much for the absolute support throughout the last. I got 8 months or something. You hopped on. You always comment. You always follow up. And listen, we couldn't do this without an audience and people like you. So thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. I don't know what's in that solo cup, but cheers.
It's vodka. So yeah, cheers.
So, Damien, because I'm not familiar with you, where are you based?
I'm in New York City.
New York City.
New York. York. So nice. You said it twice.
Yeah, and Dan, I believe you're originally from upstate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Buffalo, New York originally. So, definitely in New York State, born and raised. So, yeah. Love it.
So about several years ago, I would have been calling from Albany. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
The egg, right? They call it the egg down below.
Yeah. So
And so Damien, what exactly? Nate said a couple of things. You are an artist. You're, I believe, a fine artist. They call it. You do drawing. Stuff like that,
I mean, basically, I'm a hello, Barrow, and also basically, I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer for about several years now. I've only really gotten into it early on this year. I used to post pictures about food and drinks that I had.
Yeah, nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Yeah, and then that kind of transitioned more into just being more of a street photographer eventually. So that's where I am right now. It's that's just been my passion. It's been pretty much therapy for me. So
Love it.
I love it.
Cool.
I mean, yeah. You're like, so that's your work right there, New York.
Yeah. So I put this off Twitter, just took a couple of screenshots.
Wow.
Like the one I actually inquired about, the one on the left there, because I asked if I can get a print of it. I just love it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this black and white stuff. It's really cool.
So
Yeah.
New York has such a cool urban landscape, and even that shot is just incredible. Like, obviously, Nate, Danny, and myself, we spent a lot of time in Asia, and I love Hong Kong. Hong Kong's one of my all-time favorite places, and I've heard New York City is kind of like the American equivalent in a sense.
Similar.
And I can see that from like your work right here. That's just, very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Hong Kong. I've seen pictures of Hong Kong, and it's very similar. I like especially the nighttime shots and the cyberpunk feel that you get from that.
Cyberpunk, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That kind of whole like a film, like the techno thriller genre, a lot of that has that kind of feel. Like even, you go to Ridley Scott's work and something like Blade Runner, it was highly inspired by Asian aesthetic and architecture and so forth.
Yeah. So
One of
it's
the things I
beautiful.
always said about Asia that was really interesting to me, and me, AJ, and Native all talked about it, is especially China, Hong Kong, and I think mostly Asia, two different landscapes depending on the time of day. And in the afternoon when the sun's out, completely looks like this New York City kind of almost like broken down, I don't know, distressed look. At nighttime, it looks like you're 60 years in the future.
Right.
It's insane. It's like lights and just like things are moving. It is insane. Love that you said that it's for therapy. I love that thing because you're taking, everyone has their own like demons and stressors and things like that. And I'm sure you probably go out, walk around for 2-3 hours, maybe longer, and just take photographs and feel better.
Yeah. I especially just did that yesterday. I was just down in mostly around Lower Manhattan with a good friend that I met through Twitter, a fellow photographer, and we were just walking around, just taking in the sights, just taking pictures of stuff. There's like several pictures you have up there that it came from that, so
Right
came
on.
as a result. So yeah,
And you're from New York originally as well, correct?
yeah.
Cool.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I haven't been yet. I'm planning to go. I've made some online friends there, and Jessica, my partner, and I, we would love to go check it out. So
Mhm.
definitely, we'll have to link up on Instagram or something, and then stay in touch.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's great, man. So let me ask you, do you go ahead and do you drink and then go take photographs?
Not usually. There's been times when I've done that. So which it definitely helps with liquid courage, with courage in terms of
course. Yeah.
asking people to pose for shots when I meet with people in public, because otherwise I would just candidly take photos, and sometimes that in of itself would get interesting, where people would notice that I'm taking a shot of them, and usually people are receptive and they would just start posing, and I got some pretty I got some pretty great material from that. So
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's
What's up, Drunatic?
Drunatic. Yes, we have Damien the Fiend. I love it. Yeah. So
right.
Nate,
Yeah.
I know we got to keep moving. So
Yeah, we got to keep moving.
else, I just want to say thank you so much, Damien.
Damien, appreciate it. If you guys want to check his stuff out, here it is. Check him out on Twitter. He's in the NFT world, the NFT community. Great artist, documentarian. Love you, Damien. So happy that you're able to join the show today. Cheers to you and happy 4th of July.
Yeah, cheers,
Yeah.
guys.
Do you have any of his NFTs? Do you have anything to show?
The one's right there. This is what I
Yeah,
just
we got that right there. So
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Thank you so much, Damien. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
hope to see
Damien.
you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Yes. Wow, Nate.
All right, awesome.
Good, man. That was awesome. That was really nice to see him. Damien is one of the people that hop on the show every week, always is active and comments. And he's got a little bit. Hey, Tony, 4-2 Yanks. I love it.
Oh, and Tony Putaski, what a name. Where's he from?
He is a Polish guy from Buffalo. Just you dance,
Yeah.
just you drink, and then go somewhere.
We're going places.
We are.
Drunatic. So Drunatic, I was talking along the episode I was on previously. And I believe Drunatic has liked some of my Instagram stuff. So hello, Drunatic.
Yeah.
Hello.
Drunatic is like one of the OG followers, along with
Right.
Stuart. Like, these people really support us, and I just absolutely have grown a relationship with them. Stuart, I actually met when I went out there and farmed bees and honey with him.
Where?
Waterford. So he does a dual thing. If you check out my video, I'll go ahead and throw it up there. It's he's got a place in Waterford on a farm where he
I remember you telling me about that.
farms
There we
the
go.
bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's in North Dakota where he makes the honey. But great guy, and yeah, really happy to see you guys here. We're humming through. This is what we're drinking. It is a double IPA from Stone. Nate, are we ready for the next person?
Absolutely. So we are bringing in a guest that's joined us in the past. He is from the group Wish You Were Beer. They have a podcast. They have a YouTube channel. They've got a great Twitter presence. And we've got one individual out of 3. And we are bringing on Phil from Wish You Were Bill.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Phil.
Oh, damn.
Dude.
Phil's got that badass look. He's got the beard, but he's got the clean cut, like,
Phil
Man.
is in the murder cabin.
Yeah.
This is my murder room where I murder beers.
What's up,
Phil,
Phil?
what's
How
going
are you,
on,
man?
man?
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th, guys. I'm happy to be here. I saw Danny's fantastic promo yesterday, so I knew what to get.
Nice.
Easy
Yeah.
enough.
Well, are you where are you? I don't make the honey the beast. Yes, that's Stuart.
Currently, I'm
Currently,
I'm in Los Angeles for the next month.
great.
So-
Great. Yes. All right, Phil. I'm gonna be in LA in tomorrow. I'm driving back, so we got to link up within the next month, man. One way or the
Absolutely.
other. I don't know if we do a show together, or if we just meet up for a beer, but just to shake hands and bro hug, that kind of thing.
I do love a good bro hug. So you
Yeah.
look like you give good ones, Danny.
Is it a brud?
It's Brad.
It is. Oh.
All right. There we go.
Thanks for the brud. This just feels normal, but it's nothing. Justice coming back.
Yeah. My longtime girlfriend will be back, and then suddenly it's like, yo, what's up? Yeah, we just broke. What?
No, Wish You Were Beer. Okay, the WBS. Okay, tell us about it, Phil. Who are you? Where you come from?
So I am part of a team that we do. It's the Wish You Were Beer Show. We're a weekly live beer show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We drink at a normal hour, unlike you guys here at 10 a.m.
Don't knock it till you try.
Oh, I've tried it many times, but yeah. And so my co-hosts are Daniel and Tiffany. They're out of Virginia, and then I am always somewhere different. So we've been, making the rounds. We've just been doing the show for about a year now. I think next week's our 69th episode. It's very exciting.
Yes.
Here's that.
And I got to
And
before we make any sexual innuendos, don't
I
forget
wasn't making
Vera.
one.
Vera is like the pulse, right? She's the heartbeat behind the scenes of the channel.
Vero is a huge part of the show. She takes care of everything behind the scenes. She does a lot of our research for us. She is always reaching out to people. She's been absolutely amazing. So she's been good on the show.
You know what? I love. It's weird because when we met, probably 6 months ago or something, you were drinking Rude Boys in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And some wacky ass I don't even know what that thing was, but just watching you guys this last 6 months, man, you guys are really putting it together and locking in and growing, and you have a cohesive group. I'm having guests from California tomorrow, awesome Drunatic, and I just love watching that to the point that you guys have your own beer now. Is that right? Hey,
Sure.
I don't know if you saw the shirt, but yeah, we after 1 year, we were pretty excited. The Virginia Beer Company, good friends of our show, they've come on to it a few times. They make incredible beer. It goes around all over the place. They ship it out to Japan. They just entered London, and we were talking to them, and they were like, "Do you want to collab on a beer with us?" And we were like, "Of course! Like, why would we not want to do that?"
Yeah.
And so they had never made a Dortmunder before, and that was actually Tiffany, my co-host's idea. She saw their schedule, and she saw they had a lager on schedule, and she was like, "Have you done a Dortmunder?" And they were like, "No." And so what we did with this, and what we're going to do with all our future collabs, is we have a moment on our show called History and Facts. It's kind of our way of playing some trivia. We hang out, we learn about the beer we're drinking. And so on the back of every can, we have History and Facts, and it tells you about the style of beer. It tells you what you're drinking, why you're drinking it, where it comes from. And it's kind of just our way of giving back to, learn about the beer. Don't just drink it.
No, I love it. I love that you guys have your own beer like that. I don't know. To me, I don't know. It's kind of like, when you're doing it as an actor in LA and stuff like that, you're telling people you're an actor and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't understand this. Like, even if you're going to class and you're going to auditions, you're acting. you might not have a finished product on TV or a show or something like that, but you're an actor and you're acting.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you believe that and the more that you understand that concept, really holds weight. But then when you hit the actual TV show, it feels even better because you put your hard work together. So comparing that to that, you guys are doing the podcast, you're doing your show, you're doing everything. Now you actually have the tangible TV show, which is the beer. And I gotta say, congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I love that. I love that.
And we are excited to have the two of you on the show next week.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
The beer is on the way, so you'll have it soon.
We cannot wait. Can you tell us a little bit about what a Dortmunder lager is?
Sure. So Dortmunder lagers were created in Dortmunder, Germany, and they were created for the coal miners. So they're like about 5% alcohol normally, but at the same time, they're crushable. So before that term was even a thing, that's what these beers were designed to be.
Right.
The water is a little bit on like a sodium heavy, so it's going to be it's like a little salty, but it's also bready. So the beer itself is like super drinkable, but it oddly also kind of still makes you thirsty while you're drinking it. It's kind of got this weird thing, or I just drink a lot. I don't know, one of those two.
Sure.
But I found that like when I drank it, I was like, man, I want another one. I'm still thirsty. And it's an interesting beer for that concept.
Yeah, I've never actually heard of it. Nate, have you ever heard of a Dortmunder?
No, I haven't. I love you. We can put this back up here. I love that it's Dortmunder. I hardly know her. I don't know who came up with that, but
it was a good collaboration.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. I love the style of the can. We'll talk about that. You know, obviously when we're able to review the beer, I'm really excited about it. Number one, because it's a beer style I've never had, but also because we get to try something you guys created in the collaboration with a really well-known brewer, and it's just awesome. I'm really happy for you guys.
So cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I got to give a shout out to Tiffany. She did all the work on it. Like we have videos of her in the back of the brewery pouring everything in. She really killed this one. Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, I love the can that you guys have on the logo. On the front logo, it says "Wish You Were Beer," and in the back, it has your actual logo of the pint glass. Friggin' awesome, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, Phil, if you're okay with it, I do have an individual that's in the back of the studio. I'd like to add him onto our group right now. I know you know who this individual is.
Am I going to hear the voice first, or am I going to see the face?
You're going to see the face. He's actually on break right now. That's why I want to hop him on the show, because I'm sure he's only got a limited amount of time. But he's one of our favorites. He's been on the show before. We've been on his podcast twice now. We just recently did a Father's Day episode with this gentleman. And it's Dave Z from Beer and Fart. Dave, how you doing, man?
Oh, what's going on, guys?
All right.
I'm sneaking out of O'Hare here. I've been getting yelled at all day since 7 o'clock this morning. I'm getting yelled at. Everybody's missing their flights.
Can you help me? My flight was canceled.
Yeah, I've been dealing with your Buffalo people, Danny.
Yeah, you tell them they're a bunch of jaggers.
Yeah, it's like, oh, fuck, yeah. What's going on, guys? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays,
Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, we know you can't join us for a beer, but thank you so much for making the time. It means a lot to us that you're at work. You're able to pop out on your phone. Look at you in a tie. You look handsome as hell. Thank you so much. Super excited to have you.
I don't have my Schlitz hat on or anything.
Schlitz. I love it.
Did you guys have that Stone 4th of July beer yet?
Yeah.
Right now.
We're drinking it now.
How's it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We
had a couple. We're about to move on to the second one. We're going to do things a little bit different.
Okay.
We do a score at the very end of the show just because we have so many people. But, man, good to see you, Dave. How you feeling? How's it going back?
I'm at like 90%. I still got like a little bit of a sore throat, but, it's a lot better than it was the last time.
Good.
Oh, did you get the Rona?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Round 2.
Yeah, I had 2 rounds. I still can't taste. Well, I mean, I can, but not as much as I could. But my smell is just not great.
Yeah, my smell is whack. Everything smells like matches, like a wooden match. That's everything I smell. Smells like somebody just like took a dump and lit a match. That's all I smell right now.
That's a classic party trick. Always bring some matches in your back
Yeah.
pocket in case it happens. Like,
Yeah.
get through me. Gotta drop a duty at this party.
Hey, going back to
Yeah.
what would you rather? Like, would you rather poop in a bathroom full of a long line of people, or you go in the neighbor's bushes?
Ooh,
You got to do what you
neighbor's
got to
bushes.
do.
I'm going neighbor's bushes.
I'm doing long line of people so I can mark my territory. Let them know who's in charge. The alpha male.
Well, I don't know how we got there, but good to see you. We got Phil from Wished You Were Beer. Have you seen their Dortmunder beer?
We got one
I
coming
seen
out
their-
today.
Yeah, I saw their show Thursday,
Yep.
and then I'll hop on your show this Thursday, right, Phil?
Yeah, we've got the beer coming out to you right now.
Oh, very good.
Good,
Thank
man.
you very
That's
much.
super exciting. Hey, if you guys want to check out Beer in Front, there's the man, Reverend
Yeah.
Dave Zalatoris. Beer in Front. He's got 116 episodes on his podcast. He is the voice of beer. The guy's voice, you can hear it. It's like molasses coming out. The drawl, it's beautiful. He's a Chicagoan. He's the beer guy. Right there is a ham-ass beer. I just ordered this shirt. Danny's got a shirt coming with a Beer in Front logo. We're going to unveil that in the next few weeks, Dave, if that's cool, if you want to join the show. So,
very
if
good.
you guys haven't checked him out, please check out Beer in Front Beer Podcast. He's awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. We appreciate you showing up.
Thanks, guys. Couldn't miss it for the world. So I'm going to log off here and go back to getting yelled at for the next couple hours.
All right, man.
So
Dave, thank you.
have a beer for me.
Well, good, Dave. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th,
All
man.
right, thanks. We'll
See you, Dave.
see everyone later. Have a good day. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
See ya.
Awesome. Dave Z, man. Love that guy.
I mean, Phil, doesn't he have like, you're just listening to his voice talk about beer and you're like, I'm thirsty. It's like,
I know.
he's just amazing, man.
Yeah, you just zone out while listening to Dave on a podcast.
Oh yeah, it's just like he's got the perfect beer voice. You know, I don't know. I don't even know if he knows it, but it's just perfect when you hear him. And he's kind of the guy that like Chris. I don't know if you guys know who Christopher Hitchens is, but he's the kind of guy that you can put a podcast in and kind of fall asleep to. It's the same thing. Dave Z's got that same kind of voice.
Yeah, Dave Z needs to be hired by a major brand to be doing their, instead of we got the meats or, what I mean, like
Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
We've got the meats.
No, it's actually a
And
different.
you're gonna have the shits.
I assume Dan had that after his review of the Arby's Wagyu burger the other day.
Yeah. Have you tried the Arby's burger?
I will never touch an Arby's, so I apologize.
There you go. There you go. That's the
No.
right answer, by the way. That's the right
I'm
answer.
from the North Shore of Massachusetts. We're the only ones who do roast beef right, and I will never touch it from anywhere
Oh,
else.
wow.
Well, the last time I went to Arby's was literally about almost 20 years ago, and some of my friends, they ordered it. I'd already ate, thank God, and then after watching them eat it, the look on their face, never gonna do it.
I don't particularly like Arby's roast beef. Their fries suck, the curly fries, but the burger was delicious. The burger was really good.
Interesting.
The wag.
Man, it can't be that good. It's a fast food burger. Like you were talking about it. Like you ate a burger, like that from some world renowned chef. And hey, you know what? To each his own.
Look, buddy, you didn't try it, so don't try it.
I did not, and I missed my opportunity.
And after watching you eat it, I'm still not going to try it. I mean, I think you might have ruined all burgers for me, Dan.
He's actually gone vegetarian now, thanks to you.
Yeah, it was a close up of you shoving that burger down your throat that just really lost me on it.
Well, great.
Oh, man, I love it.
Maybe that's why you don't want to meet up in LA. But the way that I look at it,
Well, you're gonna ask me to meet up at an Arby's.
There's one in Hollywood right next to an amazing Thai restaurant.
Oh,
so-
that one sucked. The drive-through is like,
it's
you
dangerous.
really have to kind of like it's right next to the Netflix building.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the drive-through area is like if you don't pull in at the right angle, forget it, man. You're done. Like you have to really round this thing out. You know which one I'm talking
I
about?
know, because the Thai restaurant next door is one of the best Thai restaurants I've had in America. It's really good.
So Phil, I'll meet you on Sunset Boulevard and Gower at the Arby's.
Perfect.
Sorry, I got you.
Perfect.
Hey Phil, so I noticed you have are you doing a little brew tour in the next week or so? Something on YouTube I saw that notify me, see that you're going to be somewhere, or am I wrong about that?
No, I'm not doing a brew tour. I wish I was. But I will be. I'm going up to Portland next month.
Oh,
I'm going to spend a month up in Portland. That may have been what it was. And I'm looking for places to go in Portland because I've never been up there. I'm spending a month there, and I have a feeling they've got some good beers up there.
Yeah,
I heard
super competitive up in Portland. I think we had a gentleman on, one of our friends from college in the past couple of weeks, and he lives up just outside of Portland, Maine. And from what I understand, it's got per capita most brewery. Portland, Oregon.
Okay, yeah, well, sorry, I'm with you. I would have thought that same thing because East Coast, that would have been my first Portland as well.
Portland, where?
Maine. No, Oregon.
That's what it is. The Pelican Brewery Review. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. So that was when I was in St. Martin. Yeah, that's when I was in St. Martin. I forgot that that's a scheduled post.
Yes.
I was in St. Martin, and one of the first craft breweries on that island was Pelican Brewery, and they had me on, and I got to talk to the owner there, and really fascinating to hear about like a brewery on a tiny island in the Caribbean and how they got started. So it should be good. It's good. I think it goes up next week.
If Vera would like to join us at Arby's, that's fine.
Vera is in New York. That she's there, so I don't think she's going to hit up in Arby's anytime soon.
We're going to need to get Vera on the show,
but speaking of Vero and Nate, I told Vero that you had lunch from Maine Brewing Company and were obsessed about it.
Yes.
And I'm also obsessed with that beer. And then Vero went out, found it, and then drank it just because of you. So
and Vero, you're in the comments right now. She's kind of live chatting. So what do you think about the Maine lunch beer? I was just, my mind was blown by it, even more so than even a Heady Topper. Like I just absolutely thought it was exactly what a beer is supposed to be. Perfect ABV, perfect crispness. There was a lot of depth there. The bottle was absolutely gorgeous. I'm fascinated by that beer. I have to go to that brewery.
The brewery's gorgeous. The black design of it and just a stunning brewery.
Scandinavian almost.
Yeah. And Heady Topper is from Vermont, and you were talking about Vermont beers earlier. So there you go. We got one.
Well, guys, I think we're going to love it.
Even made myself a lovely gnocchi dinner and had it. Sorry, Danny.
No, it's okay. Loved it. Even made myself a gnocchi. All right.
Yeah. Gotta love that gnocchi.
Love it. Well, we're going to try a local beer now. We're going to shift gears. I'm up in Murphy's, California. Like I said, it's at the base of the Sierra Nevadas, like past Yosemite, small little town. Great place. Absolutely beautiful. Nate, I was at AJ's mom's house yesterday. It was one of the most stunning views, coolest house I've ever been in. His stepdad's got a full shop there where you can work on cars and do stuff like that. And, just amazing place. But right outside that was a nice little brewery called Snowshoe.
So it's technically in Arnold, California, the next town up.
Okay, you take over.
Yeah, so Calaveras County, Northern California, Murphy's where we live. We have a lot of, kind of landmarks and stuff from the Gold Rush, the Murphy's Hotel. Nice. Because it was one of Teddy Roosevelt's famous, favorite hotels to stay in. Arnold, California is the next town up, right outside of Big Trees National Park. But there's right off Highway 4, there's a brewery / restaurant called Snowshoe. And when I was on the show previously, this was the beer I chose. But we have the Snowshoe Snowweizen.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So you ready to crack it open?
Let's crack it and sniff it and pour it and all that good stuff.
By the way, Phil, where can I get one of those glasses?
Oh, one of these?
I love that. That's beautiful, man. That looks great.
Yeah, we're working on all our merch right now, so was a test run, but it came out pretty good.
You did very well. It looks great.
It's nice to put a glass logo on a glass. It just fits right,
Yeah, it does. It's kind of cool. So what do you, Danny? I like that glass you got there. That's an old school.
Yeah, it's a great beer glass. This came from AJ's cabinet.
I did much better this time.
Very nice. This is the Snowweizen. It's very clear. It's almost looks like a Pilsner on site, but definitely really nice pour. Got a nice beer glass here. So cheers, guys, to the 4th of July.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Try this bad boy. Oh, right up my alley.
Oh, that's light.
I love Hefeweizen.
Yeah,
I'm a Blue Moon guy. I know people are like, oh, it's fucking lame. I'm like, I don't care. I like it. So
Places are great.
yeah, I know, but like people are like, oh, Hefeweizen. Yeah.
Well, you know,
Like,
it might be that they're just talking about a Blue Moon or something that's macro related, but there's so many good Hefeweizens now in the craft world that they'll knock your socks off. I mean, talking about Vermont, right? Or Portland, sorry, Maine, Allagash. If you have one of those, that's a game changer when you drink that Hefeweizen or that wheat beer, right? That is just a top tier beer.
It's really good. And I feel like the people that poo-poo this kind of the Hefeweizen are the same type of people that poo-poo IPAs. Frank, what up, Frank?
so wait, if they poo-poo IPAs, they poo-poo. What do they like to drink then?
Coors,
Oh,
typically stuff like that.
nothing wrong with those beers, but
No.
it's like a lot of the people that drink those particular beers will not venture out to anything else. But that's the thing. Even if it's I drink Bud Light, I'm not drinking Coors Light.
Yeah.
Or if I drink Coors Light, I'm not drinking Bud Light.
Typically,
Hey, Phil, so I'm curious now that you're in LA. I know the LA scene for craft beer. I'm not super knowledgeable about it. I know Golden Road is probably one of those that are at the top, but is there anything you found recently that kind of stuck out to you that you think is pretty impressive that people might want to try?
Sure. There's two that I've been going to constantly. There's McLeod Brewing. They're in Van Nuys, California. They're a little bit bigger. So I wouldn't call. I mean, they're big for a craft beer kind of place.
Sure.
They have some of the best pizza, and we did them on the show. They really love cask, which you just don't find places that do casks anymore. They've got a whole line of casks. So it's like if you want to try something kind of from like Europe and you want to do some of that, then that's a place to go. And then another one's right here in North Hollywood, which is not far from me. Is Lawless Brewery. They've been open for like 2 years. And they have bingo every Thursday night. So after our show, I go and play bingo.
That's awesome.
Who doesn't want to play bingo at a craft beer joint? You know,
I know. And when you win, you get free beer. So it's like it's a win-win situation.
Right, I want to Uber there this week. Where is the place in Van Nuys? Where is that?
Yeah.
one?
Do you know the exact location?
I don't know the exact cross streets, but it's literally between all these like car park places. Like it's somewhere you would never go, but when you do go, you pull up and you're like, whoa! And it's beautiful. It's huge, and they've got huge outdoor space.
Is it on?
It's on Calvert Street.
Yeah, Calvert and
Calvert. Okay, yeah. The gym they fought out of for years is in Van Nuys, Satakoy, and Balboa, practically, right?
Yeah.
And like so, like I'm like, well, how come I never driven past this? But I know exactly what you're talking about because you go even towards because which beer? There's a beer. Is it?
Well, there's what's big? I think Budweiser.
Yeah, Budweiser's over right out there.
It's more of a canning facility, but yeah, Phil. Listen, we're gonna get the next person on. We really love you guys. We love your show. If you haven't checked it out, the Wish You Were Beer show. It's on Thursday nights Eastern time at 8:00. Okay, so 5:00 Pacific Standard Time. If you guys don't know, it's a great show. There is the crew, and we love what you're doing. Thank you for supporting us. And we definitely going to be doing the Dortmunder pretty soon. We're excited about it. Check out next Thursday. And then in the meantime, sometime this month, Phil, let's definitely make some time where we meet up, man. I got your text this morning, so I'll text you when I get back to LA.
Sounds great.
Yeah, Nate.
Hey, man, great seeing you. Happy 4th of July, man.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
I got nothing left. All right. See you.
All
right. See you, Phil. Oh, man.
Hey, Vero, thank you so much for joining the show, and we appreciate it. We'd love to have you on the show as well.
I know. We got to get Vero on the show. I mean, really, like, I wasn't feeding the line of shit. I love what they're doing, and I love the growth because within the last 6 months, you can really see the growth. And, big things for them. Wishing much success and looking forward to actually meeting Phil in LA. But Nate, we're humming through some beers. It's 4th of July weekend. Who do we got next?
So we actually have one individual left. He's not in the studio, so I think we can do the brewery tour right now. It would be a good time to do it. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds great. Is that one individual from my hometown?
No, this is Jeff from I Like Beer. I Like Beer, the podcast. So Mike has not been on the stream, so you might want to text him.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, we're going to be doing Stone Brewing. Obviously, we've done beers by them before. We did the 420 or Enjoy by 420 2022. We also are doing today, we did the Enjoy by 7 422, which is Independence Day. Here you can check out their credentials. They are at stonebrewing.com. They have an Instagram and Twitter following. If you guys don't know who they are, they're based out of San Diego, California.
Nice.
Probably, I would say top 3 in terms of, I don't know the volume numbers, but in terms of notoriety and reputation, they're up there with like a Ballast Point, Modern Times, those different San Diego breweries. You can see San Diego is on the southwest border of America, and is it Tijuana? That's the city right across the border there.
Yeah. Tijuana is right across from Chula Vista.
So today's beer, Enjoy by 7 422, Independence Day. It is a double IPA at 9%. We've got 5.9 thousand check-ins with a score respectable, in my opinion, especially for, Stone has been recently purchased by Sapporo. There's a lot of conflict over that. There's a lot of people that don't agree with it. I get it. I don't particularly, it doesn't bother me that much. I get it. They get to a certain point. There's probably a lot of debt involved. They sold it off, whatever. So,
what's the controversy with Sapporo exactly? Is it because it's not an American company?
I don't know if it's that. I think it has to do with the fact, and maybe people in the comments can tell us. I'm not really, I don't get into that kind of stuff, but I think it has to do with the fact that a craft brewer sells out to a micro brewer, so they lose the essence of who they are. There is some scuttlebutt around the ownership as well. So I don't know. Again, I don't get into that stuff, but a score of 3.97 out of 5. I don't know. Find it to be impressive.
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about that beer. AJ, you can tell me. So tangerine, pineapple IPA, a fruitfully independent double IPA, 9%. It's boozy. Did you pick up the pineapple and the tangerine?
Most definitely picked up the pineapple. It was like the Chiquita banana lady punched me in the face. Definitely had that fruity flavor. I think instinctively it's just the pineapple is dominant. I mean, I feel like that's pineapple in general though. So, and once again, I'm not exactly the beer connoisseur that can pick up the tiniest little details. You definitely got the fruit flavor in there. Could I distinguish between what fruit it was? I don't think so. It was predominantly felt pineapple-y to me, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was delicious.
Yeah, it's definitely boozy, and I had a 32-ounce growler, which means it's a lot. So I'm not going to pretend it's not. It's a good beer. I think it's a respectable beer. Obviously, this is something that they're doing seasonally, so it's not one of their flagships or their mainstays or something that they're offering to the public all year round. But it's a good beer. So I want to talk a little bit about Stone Brewing and who they are. Their website is obviously at a brewer that's ascended to this level. They have the ability to give us a high quality website, and they do. Founded by Greg Koch and Steve Wagner, we've come a long way since opening in San Diego County in 1996. For those of you out there that don't know, San Diego is considered the craft beer capital of the world. They might not have the most breweries, but they've got an intense amount of breweries, and very high level breweries have been bought out and distributed across the country and the world. Now the ninth largest craft brewer in the U.S., right there. We operate 2 production brewing facilities on both coasts, Escondido and Richmond, Virginia. Today, our beer is available in all 50 states and more than 40 countries. But we don't just brew beer. We also take great pride in serving it at our restaurants and tap rooms. In addition, we also operate the largest craft-centric beer distribution business in the U.S., serving our home region of Southern California. Talk about their beer just a little bit. Danny's a big Stone fan. It's no secret that IPAs are our favorite style of beer. Guys, they're very hop forward. Stone is a hop forward brewery. They do focus on the IPA. We were among the first to pioneer the West Coast style IPA, helpful to fuel the modern craft beer revolution and inspire a generation of hop fanatics but that's far from the full story. Our passion for beer over the past 2+ decades covers dozens of styles, including lagers, stouts, sours, and Belgium-inspired creations. They've got 2 facilities. They got one, as I just mentioned, in Escondido, California, one in Richmond. I'm not going to read through all that.
Yeah.
Freshness fanatics. So again, they're hop forward. They believe in that. They're IPA centric kind of brewery. And that's one of their standards, is making sure that they're providing freshness. We work hard to brew great tasting beers, and freshness can make or break everything, especially in the hop heavy beers we love to brew. Not only do we print clear bottle or canned on and enjoy by dates on each and every one of our packages, we ensure that all of our wholesale partners deliver Stone beer via cold chain distribution. So that means when they're sending it out, it never leaves temperature, which is really important. There's a couple of factors that will change the taste of a beer. One of them is light, one of them is temperature. So if you are going out and you find beer that's been sitting on the shelf for a while and it's kind of got to room temperature, maybe it's 6 months old, that beer is not going to be as fresh as something that you're getting that's been distributed cold. Distribution, again, we talked about that. The gargoyle. I think it's kind of a big deal when it comes to Stone. Gargoyles are historically known as protectors against evil spirits. Since the beginning, our Stone gargoyle has represented our ceaseless quest to create the most awesome beers imaginable. Think of the gargoyle as the big friend that's got your back, ever vigilant, ever watchful, and ever your humble servant.
I like that. Gargoyles was a good cartoon in the 90s too.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Gargoyle. What was it?
Snorks?
No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Ghostbusters. Gargoyle.
Well, yeah, Ghostbusters was classic. Gargoyles was much later, like probably 10 years after that.
Stone Brewing. Here's a couple of their spots. I mean, look at that. They're clearly, they know what they're
Ugly as shit.
Great presence. And here's a couple of their beers. Guys, I am slurring. And it was not easy to get through that right there. That was a lot. I typically do this at the beginning of the show. I'm slurring. It's because of how strong that beer is, and I'm slightly drunk.
Yep.
Wow.
You have to imagine right before this, we did that super intense workout where we were sweating like crazy. So, yeah.
We're feeling good, and we haven't eaten yet. So
No, we didn't eat anything. So,
but look, we're going to be humming along. We've got about 15 minutes left. I'm not sure if our other guest is coming on. Did you send Mike the link?
Sent him the link, buddy. So the link is sent to him. And we do have a guest that just popped on right now, and I'd like to bring him on. Jeff, we've got about 5 minutes. I hope we can get some good information out of you. We got an individual, Jeff Spanier for I Like
Yeah.
the Podcast.
Hey, hello guys. Welcome to the show.
Jeff,
Thanks for having me on your show.
welcome to the show.
And
Also
we're right here in
named
San
right.
Diego, 2 miles from Stone. That's right where we're at.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's right. In fact, we had the executive editor of San Diego Beer News, Brandon Hernandez, on our show that will release Monday with his hot take on the Stone acquisition. He was an employee of Stone for 8 years, and he is the guru of all things beer in San Diego. So we were lucky to get him in studio, and then he opened up. We didn't know if he would, but he opened up, and he's got a unique, very credible take that I think anyone kind of in San Diego, when an independent brewery is no longer independent, that's a big
Right.
deal. That doesn't fly.
Yeah, so can you kind of touch on that a little bit? Because I don't want to comment on it because I don't know the intricate details. Why is there a bit of an uproar in the beer community? I've noticed it on
That's the-
Twitter.
you know, with
People
a-
are kind of pissed.
We got 156 breweries, plus or minus. Many of them have multiple tap rooms. So, like a Duckfoot will have 4 or 5. I think they have 4. Little Miss Brewing, which is a microbrewery, but they have 6 locations. Epig, which is one of our strictly German style excellent. They got 3 tap rooms. So we got a lot of independent, a lot of your neighbors either own a brewery or have a friend or a son or daughter that are in the brewery business. So so when Macro Brew comes in, like when Tin Barrel came down and opened up, that didn't last. That didn't last at all. And when Constellation bought Ballast Point, Ballast Point didn't change the beers, and we knew the manager of the Miramar location, and they weren't changing anything, but people just said, no, I have to drive by 15 breweries to get to Ballast Point. I'll just stop
Right.
at one of these independently owned.
Really?
And there's a fairness and an unfairness in that. People get to spend their money where they want to spend their money, but also they're still employing people,
Right.
that are
Is there a bit
that
of
are
a,
our friends and neighbors and family, right?
like people think, oh, it's a sellout, and then they or
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it. And people in San Diego, the beer nerds, and there's a lot of beer nerds in San Diego. We're really looking for micro and nano. That's becoming more and more the scene here. How nano of a brewery can you find? How micro?
Shouldn't
Right.
there be a mentality of they're happy for the success of like when I liked the band before they were cool, like they like it, and because ideally as any sort of business practice, you want them to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, San Diego's are tan, but they're still Americans. We always look for something to be mad about, right?
Man, you got about point.
I like that, man. Yeah.
So I've been taking notes. I love the Dortmunder style. Love that style. I haven't seen Mike either. I'm now following Damien. Love the Bruce Lee art design. And we're actually releasing this summer. We started a How Cool Is series, and Bruce Lee is one of our How Cool Was Bruce Lee.
Call this guy, Jeff. Call him.
Yeah. So I've never eaten at Arby's, never even been inside an Arby's. I've seen one. I've driven by one. I've never been one. And I am drinking from Culver Brewing, one of our local microbreweries, blonde ale. Their blonde ale is called Mad Neighbor.
Wow.
There, all caught up on my notes. Oh, also, I'm going to McLeod's because I love ESB. That's my go-to style.
Oh, so you like the English special bitter? Yeah.
Yeah, we just did a brewery tour up in British Columbia. We took the podcast up on the road, which we do every spring, and we were up there. And I didn't know this till we got there, but everybody brews in ESB in British Columbia. Yes. So I couldn't have been happier to be sitting in the rain drinking
What
ESBs.
a style of beer, man. What a style of beer. Love it.
Yeah, and they're very hard to find here. We have certainly branched out from all IPAs of 3 or 4 years ago to much more diversity of styles wherever you go. Even if you find the smallest nano brewery, they're going to have something barrel aged. They're going to have a sour. They're going to have a lager. They're going to have some variety. So, but ESB, good luck. Good luck finding one of those in San Diego.
Now, Danny, you and I actually drank an ESB from Virginia Beer Company.
Yeah.
It was sent to us from Wish You Were Beer, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was a fantastic beer.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, it's got a certain bitterness to it that really brings a lot of flavor to each beer. I haven't drank a lot of them, but I'm not opposed to that. I think it's a specialty thing. So, I would love to try more. But what really want to know is, like, I like beer. Tell us a little bit about who you are, Jeff, and your podcast. And,
So we've got 3 hosts, 2 Jeffs and a Todd. We're high school teachers. And when our kids went off to college and started getting spring break, we wondered, why don't we get spring break? We're paying, we're right. So we had talked about renting a van and driving up to Chico to go to Sierra Nevada, hit Russian River, and then find every little tiny microbrewery we could on the way home and fill the van full of beer. And that would get us through our summer drinking. So that was the vision. And the other Jeff on our podcast, he's a planner. So if you come up with an idea, which I tend to do, and then I don't do anything about it, next morning he calls and says, I've rented the van. It fits 16 people, so we can invite some more people, but we need room for the beer. And the game was on. And we did that for 3 or 4 springs in a row. And we'd visit. The first time we visited 24 breweries, and we got up to 35 breweries each visit.
Wow.
And what we realized is very quickly we got tired of hearing about brewing capacity and how much distribution numbers, recipes. What we liked were the stories. How did you get into brewing? Why is this beer called Mad Neighbor?
Love that.
The story behind the beer. And then 3-4 springs ago, we were down in Mexico. We didn't do brewery tours. We just rented a big house on the beach in Mexico, Rocky Point. And we were bored out of our minds with no breweries to go to. And we just started talking about great breweries we'd been to, beers we'd had. And someone said, everybody claims that they said it. We don't know who said it, but I said, this could be a show. People would listen to this.
Yeah.
So now we're about 180 episodes in, 3 years in. We release once a week. And, we're kind of, like you guys have said on your show, PG-13. We're school teachers, so it stays PG-13. Our guests can venture into R, but we've got to roll back into the PG-13 pretty quickly.
What do you teach?
I teach English. We got a Spanish teacher and a science teacher.
Right on.
Nice.
And our sound, and we all went to the high school we teach at. Our sound guy went to high school with us, and our producer's wife went to school with us. So And we married our high school sweetheart. So we've gone nowhere in life, really. Think of it that way.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention he did talk about Russian River. For those of you who are unaware, Russian River is the home of one of probably, I don't know, one of the most world-renowned beers out there, and that is Pliny the Elder. And I think, Danny, you just recently tried Pliny the Elder. What did you think of it?
I mean, the thing about all these beers, and when you're in this kind of realm of the show and beer and stuff like that, you try to be crafty and you try to go ahead and think you're gonna try something new and different. When everything is kind of along the same lines, but then you do try these beers like the Heady Topper, the Pliny Elder, and they are clearly above the rest of them.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's something about it. Maybe it's something psychological that I'm not aware of, that like hearing about it for many years and then trying it, like, oh yeah. But I've tried a lot of beer, and I feel like, my voice is probably just as good as anybody else's. I don't know the whole science of brew making, but it was delicious. Loved it. It came fresh out of a tap here in California, down in Woodland Hills. But yeah, I thought it was delicious, and I would definitely want to go there and try it myself.
So we are about beers and stories. So let me bring this full circle. So we were sitting in studio Wednesday talking to Brandon Hernandez about Stone, and I mentioned I was going to be on your guys' show because that was right when I got the email about it. And a former student walked in with a sign saying, "This is for you guys," and he dropped off bottles of Pliny.
Wow, really?
That's so cool, man.
It's like, and for people that are not in California, you got to understand, you can't get this beer. It's not distributed. Am I right?
Even SoCal, there's certain tap rooms that you've got to do some hunting if you want to find a tap room that has
Unicorn.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, this place was called Jeff. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called the Local Peasant. It's in Woodland Hills, and I want to say Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
I
have not heard of it, but I've been to Woodland Hills, so I'm going to put it on my list to visit.
Man, not only did they have that, they had both the Alchemist, the Heady Topper, and the other one that they do.
Excellent.
And they had like all these. They had the one out of El Segundo called Mayberry. They had just like really, really, I don't know, iconic beers, if we want to say that, or just stuff. I was like, and the bartenders were knowledgeable without being snobby. They're like, and I was like, man, you guys got the good stuff. And she says to me, she goes, "It's funny that you said that, because a guy was here asking for Busch Light, and told him the beers, and he's like, how come we don't have any of the good stuff?"
We have 2 tap rooms that have opened up here. One very recently, and they are like committed to finding the whales, finding those, and then having them on tap. If they can have them in can and bottle for sale, great. But they want them on tap, so you get that experience.
Wow.
And so we're making sure that we patronize them and promote them, because we don't want them to go away. But I do wonder sometimes if you don't have Coors Light on tap, how are you paying your bills? So
yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I go back to my childhood, and of course, so much has changed. I'm older now, so much has changed in that 30 years. But there was no IPA when I was growing up. There wasn't, right? So, and people's expectation of beer was basically flavored water. Like that's what it was. I mean, if you really want to have a Coors Light, a Bud Light, they're fine in their own right. There is a place for them. There is a time to drink those, but it's different now. And there's people out there doing something very great. And to find those, sometimes the distribution doesn't allow you to get them from California to Vermont, or from Vermont to California, and you need to figure out ways to do it. That's why they call them a unicorn. I'm interested in that. I feel like I had one with the Heady Topper. I feel like I've had one with Lunch from Maine Brewing. Those are unicorn type beers where the level is so much higher than anything else you've tried.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It is incredible when you have them, especially if it's a beer that's been hyped, when they meet the hype.
Yeah.
And they often do.
You're right,
more often than not, they do. There are times where, okay, I live in San Diego. I can go to 6 different breweries that have a beer of this quality, but more often than not, the hype's for a reason.
Yeah.
So speaking of San Diego, I would imagine there's a lot of Mexican influence, right?
Yes.
I'm starting to notice a push towards Mexican cervezas in the craft beer community, which I'm
absolutely
really enjoying. Are you seeing that in San Diego?
Yes, finally, because you could get all these great beers, but you couldn't get a good Mexican lager. You
Right.
still had to get Pacifico or
It is so
Corona if you want.
important.
And now that's one of those styles that almost every brewery of at least medium size now has an excellent. And really, I think bring it back to Stone with their Buena Vesa, their salt and
love it.
lime
Yeah, that
Mexican
one's
lager. They're the ones that kind of said, hey, Mexican lager can be craft too. AleSmith, which is a name you may not be familiar with, but in
Oh,
San
we
Diego,
know that.
they're
We know that. Yeah.
they're king of the world in San Diego. They have a Sublime Mexican lager, which they just stopped production of, but that was the one that no one knew about. But if you knew about it, it was special. But Buena Vesa just took over everything. And then I think craft brewers said, oh, you can make money selling Mexican lagers. Let's do it. And now we have a lot of options.
Well,
No,
like
not everything is about tapping out the ABV. You know, people want to have a beer that is crushable, is accessible, is good on the beach, is good, as Danny always says, watching a volleyball game. Like, you don't need to have
volleyball.
9 to 10% danky IPAs. The Mexican Cerveza is a segment of beer that is an exceptional style of beer, and we're finally starting to see the craft community kind of contribute.
yeah,
We're seeing that.
Oh,
We're seeing that in San Diego, a lot of lagers. This is the summer of lagers, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
like I like a lot of Mexican beers, but see, I'm an oddity within my friends because I hate Corona. I think it's disgusting personally. So I'm sorry, like I've never had a Corona, enjoyed it, but I like a lot of different Mexican beers I've had. But like I just think Corona is horrific.
Yeah.
But I've also read that on a lot of the national beer testing, like every year, Corona comes in last. The thing is, they have the most brilliant marketing campaigns.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're the first, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Trillium Smooth Seas?
I've had Trillium beers, but not Smooth Seas. No.
Love it.
Okay. I'm putting on my wish list.
Yeah.
I keep an extensive list here.
I like it. I like it. Well, Jeff, I would love to spend more time with you. And now that you know, I didn't know that you were coming on the show, so Nate kind of is on the forefront of today's episode. Let's bring you back later in the year, or you know, I'd love to bring all three of you guys on the show. Maybe we can connect you with some of the people that we do or have met through this you know, channel. I Like Beer is the name of your podcast. Check them out. You can see on Instagram, Twitter, Podbean, I think is a big one that you go to.
Yep.
So
Yeah, great. We'd love to have you on our show as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's the kind of,
That.
yeah, this is the kind of stuff we absolutely love is building this beer community of online presence, and let's see what happens. You know,
Making friends and telling stories. I love it. Have a great 4th of July. Be safe and have fun.
Hey, Jeff, thank you so much for joining. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, subscribe.
Just subscribe. We're good to go.
I like beer.
Awesome.
All right, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Nate, Mike is not here. We sent him the link, right?
Did twice.
Okay, so maybe something happened. We might be doing a just one beer on the actual 4th of July. So maybe we'll try to bring Mike back. I know people are busy and connections are bad. He could be out and somewhere in Allegheny where he can't get connection because I've been messaging him. We tried to get him on.
It's okay. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, we had a lot of people here. We're talking about the first day of a 3-day weekend. People are busy.
Yeah.
So the fact that we had the people that were on, thank you so much for joining. I mean, it means so much to us because we know how busy you are. You made the time to show up to our show. Do you guys want to do What Would You Rather?
I was going to say, do you want to save it?
No.
Oh, you want to do it?
Okay.
Do it.
Let's do it. What would you rather?
Okay.
All right. So here we go, guys. We're going to start off with a couple of places. As Danny would say, I'm going to get you a flight to wherever you want to go. And there's 2 places you get to compare here. First one is Statue of Liberty. This is the 4th of July special. So we're going to be very patriotic here. Would you rather go to the Statue of Liberty? AJ, where is that located?
Ellis Island in New York.
New York City, right? So, and that was a gift from
France.
France. Thank you so much. Or would you rather go to Philadelphia and the Liberty Bell? AJ and Danny, would you rather go to the Statue of Liberty, New York City, gift from France, or the Liberty Bell, which was an iconic Independence Day type symbol based out of Philadelphia? What would you rather?
I'll go first. So for me, being that I haven't been to either, I'm going to pick the Statue of Liberty simply because I really want to go to New York City. Second, my Italian family that came over in 1908, my great grandma Antoinette Zapatero. She came in through Ellis Island. So I grew up with my great grandma. I was very fortunate. She lived to be 100 years old. So yeah, I know. So she passed away in like 2 weeks short of her 100th birthday. She was born in 1899. So I was 12 years old when she passed away. So I grew up like hearing the stories about growing up in Italy first and then coming in through Ellis Island and this and that. So I am going to go with Statue of Liberty just because of my own family connection, my family from Italy coming through Ellis Island. So I got to pick simply because I haven't been to either, but I think either or would be awesome. But I'm going with the Statue of Liberty.
Danny.
Not even a question. Statue of Liberty. Love boats. Want to get out there in Ellis Island, see what France gave us. I'm going with Statue of Liberty.
So I'm going to go Liberty Bell. I lived in New York City for 6.5 years. Statue of Liberty, I guess, is cool. There's something about the Liberty Bell and what the significance of that is with the Declaration of Independence, particularly on the 4th of July. And it's also my favorite sports town and the city that I recognize the most with, being from Pennsylvania. So for me, Liberty Bell. Guys, let's see what you have in the comments. Now we're going to listen to something. We got 2 artists.
Hold on. I am bringing out an old school episode callback from the last time we had AJ on here.
I still have that in my fridge.
The Lead Dog Stout.
All right, Lead Dog peanut butter stout, great beer, great beer. So what do you guys listen? Well, not what are you listening to? What would you rather listen to? We've got 2 artists. I wanted to find 2 artists that were kind of different genres, but very pro, or I don't know about pro America, but patriotic in a certain sense. First one, we're going to go with. Oh, what is this? Sorry.
Mike Rotunda.
Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA.
Born in the USA.
Right. So, do you want to do Born in the USA, Bruce Springsteen? Look at that American flag there. He's absolutely small town Americana, New Jersey guy. I grew up. Everybody on the show, for the most part, understands my affinity for Bruce Springsteen. He's absolutely phenomenal, amazing artist. Or let's go country, Bruce Springsteen or Toby Keith. The Angry American, courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
Here's the thing.
Come on, dude.
Randomly, I'm going to go with Toby Keith because up here where we live, Murphy's, California, we have a very famous vineyard, Ironstone, and they have a big concert venue. Last summer, Jessica and I went to go see Toby Keith, and he was incredible. And I'm not a country by any means, but Toby Keith was awesome. And the funny part is, from the get-go, he was wasted. He was slurring. He was drunk, but he was still awesome. And afterwards, because Jessica's seen him before, she even said, she's like, wow. I was like, man, he was awesome. He was great. She's like, yeah, he was great. But can you imagine how good he would have been if he wasn't so
He was sober?
Yeah, if he was sober. But like that just goes to show what a talented performer he is, because even just wasted, like drunk out of his mind, he was still so good, still singing in tune, not slurring, just like, but you could just tell in the in-betweens when he was talking and this and that. Plus, he loves this country. I mean, he like, because at the end, the very last thing he said to him, and this is going to be, I'm going to use a vulgarity here. He's like, if anyone ever criticizes you for loving America and your country, fuck them. That's what he said. And the crowd went crazy. And I was like, because I agree. Like, you know, Nate and I've talked about this before, like no country's perfect, but we're still the best country in the world. And I just love how patriotic he is. And technically, I mean, I love Bruce Springsteen, but Born in the USA is also, it's an anti-war song. I mean, we all hate war, but you know.
It is an anti-war song. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going with Toby Keith just because I've seen him recently live. He was awesome. He's a lot of fun. He loves America. He's very red, white, and blue patriotic. He does a lot for veterans. So I'm going with Toby Keith.
Danny, what do you got?
Well, I love the comments coming through. Julie says he's sleepy. I could see that, but
well, you can see that. What the fuck are you talking about?
If you listen to all his other songs, he's just snoring.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Pink Cadillac, man. That's a banger.
Well, his hits are great.
Pink Cadillac.
These are not what makes him great. That's the thing you're missing.
It's not an argument. This is not an argument. I know it's like I could see that. Look, I like Bruce Springsteen. I think that a lot of his hits are great hits, and I could listen to them over and over again. But a lot of his B-side stuff is a snooze fest. Going forward, definitely, without a doubt, ever since Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo showed up to the wrestling ring, born in the USA, for me, all the way, Bruce.
Yeah, I this doesn't even really need a whole lot of support. It's Bruce Springsteen all day long. All right, so now what would you rather eat? So we got two things that are very prominent on 4th of July. If you go to a picnic,
I'm already telling you, hot dogs.
is it the American hot dog? Look at that flag up there, dude.
Missing something though.
Or the burger. What are you guys going with? Danny, hot dog or burger?
Hot dog is one of my favorite 3 foods, except for that hot dog is missing ketchup. I would do hot dog.
So for me, I love hot dogs. The only problem is, since I've turned 30, which is years ago now, so I'm now in my mid-30s, hot dogs give me killer heartburn. So as much as hot dogs, I'm going to, it's going to be a tough one afterwards. I'm going to go with burger. I also like the diversity of a burger. You could have different patties. You can have a lamb burger. You could have a hamburger, right? True. There's a lot of different, and then you can mix up the buns. You can have a standard bun. You can have a pretzel bun, a brioche bun. The toppings you can put on. Don't get me wrong. I love hot dogs. I always loved hot dogs as a kid. I still do. I'm just going to, face consequences for eating them. So, and look at that blue cheese crumble on that hamburger. Come on.
That's the way you eat it.
That is a nice choice. And you can put blue cheese crumbles on a hot dog, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm going to go with the hamburger.
Nice.
All right, so we got 2 here. I'm going to be the tiebreaker. I actually think for how much I love the burger, I think I gotta go hot dog for this, particularly for the 4th of July. I like hot dogs.
All right, this we take a hamburger, cut the hot dog in half, put it on top of the burger, then inside the bun. We're combining them.
Sure, that sounds great.
That would be something you would have seen at McDonald's in China. Right? Remember when they'd have those really weird, random menu items at fast food restaurants in China where you'd be like, huh, that's weird, but I might eat it.
Yeah, that was Wonderstruck. Right. Hot dogs are great, but American hot dogs are boring. Absolutely, the Danish hot dog is
I agree. All right, so we already did places. What are you going to listen to? What are you going to eat? Now, what are you going to do on 4th of July? We got 2 options.
Horseshoes.
No, we're not doing games. It's a little bit different. Would you rather have a 4th of July picnic? Right? Would you have a 4th of July picnic? Basically the same foods that we're talking about, but really what it's about is the gathering of family and friends. Yeah. You're having a keg of beer. When I was growing up, a picnic usually meant a keg of Yuengling Lager and a keg of Birch beer for the kids. Picnic tables and, an above ground pool. That's kind of what I think of when it comes to 4th of July picnics. Or fireworks. Would you rather go to a fireworks show?
I'm going to picnic.
Yeah, picnic for me too. It's just more a family gathering, food, daytime. You can always see the fireworks wherever you're at after. The idea of getting to a fireworks show and seeing a fireworks show was kind of, I don't want to say debunked, or it's never the same for me. Once you've been to EDC, everything changes with fireworks. You can go to Disney 10 times in a row and it's still not EDC. You know what I mean? Hey, Pasquale, you absolutely ruined the fireworks for me because there is only one place to see a great fireworks show, and that's EDC.
The light show at California Adventures, Disneyland California Adventures, is amazing. So I will speak to that. But I'm going with picnic because for me, the thing I love most is being with family and friends, like Danny coming up here to visit us. That's what's the most fun, right? You get to hang out, you get to see people, you get to spread the love, the camaraderie. For me, that's a lot more important. I love fireworks. Everyone loves fireworks, but looking up at a light show for, your typical standard city fireworks, they're not that incredible. If you have the chance to go somewhere and see a real professional show, maybe, but I just love a classic picnic, a gathering, family, friends. It could be the most basic food. It's just that's one of the things that coming out of the lockdowns and the pandemic, we really realized that we needed and missed the most was the ability to just be with our loved ones.
Yeah.
Come on. So for me, I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to go the opposite of you guys. I'm going to go fireworks. I prefer the nighttime festivities. I like, 4th of July is hot during the day.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one of the two, there's a spectacle that's going on. I don't know. Like I grew up going to the Emerald Fireworks, was such a special occasion for me. So for me, fireworks. Danny, Drunatic's got a comment for you.
Come on in, Drew. You can hang out on this hat any day.
What about my hat?
I like your hat. All right, guys. So we got one last What Would You Rather? And we actually kind of hit on this today because we were talking about Star Wars. What would you rather? Oops. What's going on here? Oops, there it is. What would you rather? Would you rather talk like Yoda for the rest of your life or breathe like Darth Vader?
Let's try.
Good beer this is. Drunk it makes me.
Would you rather talk like that forever or have what would you rather, guys? Danny, what would you rather? Talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader?
Let me just test it out. Yeah, pizza I like.
I'm gonna okay. So for me, that we kind of mentioned before, I'm a competitive martial artist. I compete in Muay Thai, so I'm gonna go with talk like Yoda because breathing like Darth Vader is going to imply that I have bad cardio. I need a respiratory device to help me breathe. So I'm gonna go with Yoda because I don't care if I'm in there like
Knock you out, I will.
you know, as opposed to I need more rest. So I'm going to talk like Yoda.
Danny.
Damien, Darth Vader, how cool would that be? Yeah, that's right. Like, how are you?
That'd be so obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm going to talk like and breathe like Darth Vader.
Yeah, so for me, I want to do the Yoda thing. There's something about the intellect of Yoda that I find super impressive, even though he talks in broken sentences that are kind of combined backwards.
Let's see who you got.
Huh?
Do your best Yoda.
I don't.
Come on.
I don't know how to do it.
Try it.
Brian Dennehy, you resemble.
You're refreshing. It is.
Hey, that was good.
All right, see? All right. Very nice. Well, there it is.
Anyway, so guys, hey, listen. Thank you so much for a great episode. We had a lot of guests on here. They were fantastic. We had guests that we had on previously, guests that we had on for the first time that will hopefully we can bring back. Love the fact that you are in Murphy's, California. AJ, I wish I was there. Jess, thank you so much for helping out with the decorations in the back. You guys are awesome. Danny, is there anything you want to say before the end of the show?
Look, always a pleasure. Like, you know, we just kind of, from my end, Nate, thank you so much for taking care of all the production, behind the scenes stuff. If you don't know, Nate took care of a lot of stuff, if not everything this week. And it really means a lot that we were able to just continue to bring the show each and every week. There's a lot of stuff that you guys don't see. We're working together. We're building our team. And thank you so much. The show was awesome. Thank you to all the guests that hopped on. We're going to bring some of them back. We're going to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
I'm here with AJ. Now we're going to go tour the town. We're having a great time. I couldn't have asked for a better show.
And one day we'll record a live show with all of us together up in Arnold at my parents' house, and that'll be a lot of fun.
AJ, when are you coming to Vegas, dude?
Hopefully maybe soon. We'll have to see. The thing right now, it's hard for us to plan because we technically don't even know when we're leaving yet, but sooner rather than later, and we'll keep you in the loop.
When are you coming to LA?
On the 22nd of July.
Oh, all right. Well, guys, look, it's been a great show. We had an awesome time. That's Nate the Fourth. That's AJ the Rabbit. I'm Travel Man Dan. Remember, it's a big world out there. Don't blow your balls off this weekend, and make sure you see every bit of it. Woo! Thanks, guys. Happy 4th of July.